Hey everybody, it's me, Dr. Fuck from Thrash or Die, and I'm here to talk about, in my opinion, the most underrated metal band from the 80s. This week I'm tackling my favorite album by them. It's called Symbol of Salvation, and the band is called Armored Saint. Armored Saint, Symbol of Salvation, released in 1991. This is off Metal Blade Records, but they were on Chrysalis. They released an EP with Metal Blade, which is great, the Armored Saint EP. Then March of the Saint, great album. Production's a little which is kind of hard to believe because the guy that produced that album was Michael James Jackson, who did Creatures of the Night with that killer drum sound. But it's not that greatly produced, but the songs are really kick-ass, and I do recommend March of the Saints. Great fucking metal album. Then they did an album with Max Norman, the guy that did Ozzy and a host of other great albums. Delirious Nomad, fucking great album. Sometimes I'm torn between this one and Delirious as my favorite. And then they did Raising Fear, which to me is like the heaviest, more metal album that they did, but it's another flawless album. And then this, I mean, to me, this band did no wrong back then. I mean, all their 80s albums, and even the album after that, Revelations, was a great album as well. The Rasa, man, I gotta listen to it more, man. That's the one album that I'm kind of like against the fence about. I don't think I've given it enough chances, but this I have given enough chances, and it's a fucking flawless, great fucking album. Let's get into it, man. Track one. Rain of Fire, as you can see, they made a video for it, and it's a great opening track with a monstrous riff. I just love the fucking riff. I love this video with the fucking live performances. Shot at the Country Club in LA, which I was there one time. And what can I say? It's a great fucking crushing song, and I thought it was actually gonna break them back in 91. I said, finally, you know, they got a video, because they only had one video before this for Can You Deliver off the first March of the Saint album. And Chrysalis like really dropped the ball with these guys, man. They didn't promote them at all. Delirious, Nomad, and Raising Fear had no fucking videos. And Chrysalis sucked. And they really fucked this band over because they were releasing great quality metal albums that didn't get a fair shake. So, but then they came to Metal Blade where they belong. And Brian Slagle went on to say, out of all the albums he's worked on to that point, Symbol of Salvation is his favorite, and the most proud he was to release an album on Metal Blade was this one. Let's go to the next track. Dropping Like Flies. You know, this song, great song by the way. John Bush said that the lyrics were kind of like, he was hearing a lot of people in the record industry that were like being fired and stuff, and he couldn't have been happier since they got fucked over so much. So all those fucking weasels in the record company, those scumbags, were getting fired left and right, and he wrote a song about it called Dropping Like Flies. Great song, man. Let's go to the next track, because there's a lot of tracks, man. Gotta cover it all. Last Train Home. They made another video, as you can see, which kind of perplexes me. It's not a bad song, but geez, there's so much better songs on here that would have really skyrocketed this band a little better than Last Train Home. I don't know, it's a little jazzy at parts, and it's pretty cool, you know, but you know, as I go along, I will name songs that would have been a better second video. Next track. Tribal Dance. Tribal Dance, a great, hey, this one could have been a better video. Really catchy, it's got a killer groove on it, pretty much about the distribution of cocaine and you know, the man. I know they got a little shit from it. I remember reading a Rip magazine thing where some guy wrote in saying, oh, they're slamming Colombians, but actually John Bush wrote back saying, no man, we're not actually slamming Colombians, we're more slamming Americans for buying the shit. You know, supply and demand, you know, it's pretty much about addiction of It's kind of like Chemical Euphoria Part 2. Great fucking song. I love this song. One of my favorites off here. Let's go to the next one. The Truth Always Hurts. What a killer groove this fucking song has. And one of the reasons John Bush is one of my favorite metal singers is very evident in this song when he's screaming at the end. I just love this guy's voice. Very heavy. Went out to join Anthrax, and no offense, not that I hated the stuff he did with Anthrax, but in my opinion, Armored Saint is way superior than Anthrax. That's my opinion, and these albums prove it. I fucking love this song. This is like, again, one of my favorite tracks on here. Next track. Half-Drawn Bridge, pretty much a little tiny instrumental. Joey Viera, it's kind of got a double entendre. Half-drawn bridge, you get it, like musically bridge, but it's also about their guitar player Dave Pritchard, who sadly passed away from leukemia before this album was done, but he had a lot to do with the songwriting. You know, he just kind of like, he accepted he was about to die, and so let's go to the next track. Another Day, this song again, it's, you know, in retrospect, I always thought it was about Dave Pritchard, and they said in that interview that it was kind of like about Dave Pritchard in retrospect, but they were kind of like talking about themselves, like, man, you know, they got dropped from Chrysalis, what's going to happen to them? Is Armored Saint going to live on? You know, and it's kind of like, you know, had a lot to do with, you know, will there be another day for Armored Saint? And, unfortunately, at that time, after this album, no, there wasn't. But they did reform, but they are still very fucking underrated. Next track. Symbol of Salvation, what a fucking monster riff. Funny thing about this riff was the guitar player, Jeff Duncan, who joined Armored Saint for this album, he had a tape with a bunch of riffs, and he played it for the late Dave Pritchard, and Dave Pritchard heard that riff and said, dude, we got to use that. Jeff Duncan at the time was like, oh, really, that one? He didn't really think much of it, but now he thinks it's a monster riff, man, and I'm glad they used it. This is, again, probably the second heaviest song on here. I love fucking, it's just a crushing song, and very well fit to be the title track. Next track. Hanging Judge. I love. This is another song, man. At the time when I first got the album, I was like, you know, whatever. But this song really grew on me. It's a great fucking song. It's pretty much self-explanatory, you know. The gallows, you know, you're gonna be hung by that hanging judge. Very metal topic from a very metal band. Next track. Warzone. You know, Warzone was a song that Joey Viera went on to say that he hated, but the reason it's on the album was because Brian Slagle really loved that song, and he pushed for it. And I may be wrong. I'm kind of a little fuzzy. Was it Warzone or Hanging Judge? One of those two songs appeared on Hellraiser Part 3, I believe, and Armored Saint is in the movie playing that song. I believe it is Warzone. They're playing it, and it's a great metal fucking song. I love this song. I love the lyrics, you know, every night I dream and I always play the starring role. I know I didn't get it exactly right, but I know that's how kind of those lyrics go. It's a great fucking song. Fucking awesome. Next track. Burning Questions, another song that kind of grew on me, and now it's like one of my favorites on here. It's a great fucking song. I love Burning Questions, and I love the end when he's screaming his ass off. And again, great fucking song. Let's go to the next one. Tainted Past. They went on to say that it wasn't really about them, even though their past is a little tainted when it comes to Chrysalis Records dropping the ball on such a great fucking band. But John Bush went on to say that it's about people he knows and he didn't want to name names that did have a tainted past. And I just love this. This is probably my favorite song off the album. And there is a different version to this song that's all acoustic on Ode to Old School. That's fucking great. I just love this song. I love the bass playing. It's very musical. It's not too metal, but it's not too mellow either. It's like somewhere in the between, and it's fucking great. It's an epic fucking song, and my favorite off here. Next track. Spineless. This is a fucking crushing, probably the heaviest song on here. Great way to end this fucking monster album. Spineless fucking rules. Joey Viera went out to say that some of this song was originally on this song called You Can Run, that's on the Decline of Western Civilization album. That's a crushing song as well. It's on none of their albums. I believe it's on the extended version of Ode to Old School, which I have. Great fucking song, and that's it, man. That's my review of Armored Saint. It's a lot of songs, so I know I don't have that much time. All I can say is that I flew all the way to San Jose to see them reunite. I saw them once on the Symbol of Salvation tour, so I did see them twice on Revelation and this tour. Unfortunately, I never saw David Pritchard because they never came to Florida back then, but it was an honor. And when John was in Anthrax, I always made my way backstage or made my way somewhere to meet John Bush because I'm such a big fan. And I met him so many times that he knows me by name. Or at least he did know me by name back then. I haven't seen John Bush in like 10 years, so probably he forgot about me. Oh well. But I bought him a Bon Scott shirt because I remember he loved Bon Scott. And he wore that shirt at some photo shoot with when they did something with, I think it was Ball of Confusion was the name of the song, Joey Belladonna. There's a picture of John Bush wearing that Bon Scott shirt. Anyway, Armored Saint, man, fucking rules. I highly recommend you pick up this deluxe edition with the interview and all the demos are on here. Great fucking shit. Really look into this, man. Armored Saint, Symbol of Salvation. The most underrated band in fucking 80s metal, in my opinion. See you next time, fuckers.